Despite what you may observe, this is the reality of how the narcissist truly lives. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining us for another video. If you find our content helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. Your support helps our channel grow and reach a wider audience. Today, I want to address a topic that has been on my mind. We've previously discussed the desire for revenge against narcissists. However, it's crucial to understand that there's no need to dwell on such thoughts. Once you understand the truth of how the narcissist lives, a topic I will explore shortly, you'll gain a deeper insight into why seeking revenge, or even concerning yourself with their karma, is unnecessary. The main focus of this video is how the narcissist truly lives. I intend to delve into this subject in depth because it's essential for you to understand the underlying dynamics at play. Let me explain their reality. The narcissist, regardless of gender, fundamentally lives under a curse, a profound energetic imbalance that permeates their entire existence. This isn't a mystical notion, but rather a description of a life that is perpetually out of alignment with well-being, truth, and genuine connection. It's an internal state of distress that manifests outwardly. Some of you might question this, seeing that they appear to be living quite well. Perhaps they seem to have everything they desire, or appear to thrive in their relationships. Let's take a closer look at this perception. What we see on the surface is often a meticulously crafted illusion, a performance designed to elicit admiration and control. The reason I assert that the narcissist lives under this profound energetic imbalance is directly linked to their victim mentality. As I mentioned in a previous video, this victim mentality fundamentally undermines the power of personal agency and inner peace. This mindset essentially nullifies the belief in our ability to overcome challenges. We are encouraged to be of good cheer, to embrace optimism even in the face of adversity, for we possess the inherent strength to navigate life's complexities. A narcissist, however, cannot genuinely be of good cheer because they are constantly complaining, positioning themselves as victims of every circumstance, and incessantly invalidating others. They are forever pointing fingers, unable to recognize their own role in their struggles. As I previously stated, you are confronting an absolute force of negativity. This isn't just about bad moods, it's a fundamental operating system of their being. To understand this better, let's examine the psychological roots of their victim mentality. Often it stems from early childhood experiences where they may have felt genuinely deprived, neglected, or deeply hurt. However, instead of processing these wounds and developing healthy coping mechanisms, the narcissist adopts a defensive posture. They externalize blame to protect their fragile ego. They cannot admit fault or vulnerability because it shatters their carefully constructed image of perfection. This leads to a lifelong pattern of seeing themselves as perpetually wronged. Even when they are the ones causing harm, their victim narrative becomes their shield, deflecting any responsibility and justifying their destructive behavior. One cannot experience peace and tranquility while harboring such intense negativity. While some may initially be influenced by negativity, perhaps in their formative years, such as pre-teen or just before adulthood, once they begin exhibiting at least 5 traits from the narcissist checklist, they are deeply entrenched in this destructive pattern. This is not a passing phase. It's a deeply ingrained way of being. Consider this. How can an individual who consciously chooses to torment and destroy another human being not be living under a profound burden? Such a state is undeniably a heavy load to bear. Imagine the mental energy required to constantly strategize, manipulate, and control others. It's exhausting and leaves no room for genuine joy or spontaneity. To understand this mentality, you must realize that their minds are forced to reside in a state of perpetual negativity and despair, constantly harboring destructive thoughts. It is impossible to achieve peace of mind when one is continually devising ways to torture and destroy another human being. There is simply no path to peace in such a state. Their inner world is a battlefield full of resentment, envy, and an overwhelming sense of inadequacy. They engage in theft, not just taking material possessions, but also your energy, joy, and sense of self. They will seek to extinguish your spirit if you allow them. If you're not vigilant, they will relentlessly attempt to dismantle your inner peace. They consistently exhibit a negative disposition. You are caught in a double bind when interacting with them. Whether you comply with their demands or pursue your own desires, conflict will inevitably arise. They thrive on conflict because it gives them a sense of control and allows them to play the victim. It's a no-win situation for anyone involved with them. When you encounter such individuals, it is crucial to recognize that you are dealing with someone living under an absolute burden. So, why would you seek revenge against such a person? Why concern yourself with their actions towards others? Their suffering is self-inflicted and constant. Rest assured, what they are doing to the next person is the exact same and likely worse treatment they inflicted on you. This is a fundamental truth you must grasp. It's not personal, it's their pattern. They are simply repeating a destructive cycle with a new target. This energetic burden does not simply disappear when they sleep. No, it defines who they are, stemming from what resides within them, from the pervasive negativity that empowers them. And I am not referring to you, but to the narcissist. It is their core operating system ingrained in their psyche. Thus, we must understand that these individuals are living under a complete, all-consuming negativity. Consequently, the mind of a narcissist will never be truly content. Regardless of your initial impressions when you first encountered them, when they may have appeared kind, sweet, and charming, they are never satisfied. They embody many destructive traits operating within them virtually all the time. If you're not familiar with common destructive human traits like excessive pride, envy, wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, and lust, I urge you to learn about them as they epitomize the narcissist. These are not just occasional flaws, they are deeply entrenched behavioral patterns that govern their decisions and interactions. Their primary objective with you is to keep you suppressed in lower vibrations, enabling them to gain complete possession of your being. For if they can weaken you to the point of surrendering your entire will to them, what does that destructive influence believe it can achieve? We are speaking of a manipulative and controlling force, one that seeks to dominate and consume. They want to absorb your light, your energy, and your sense of self to prop up their fragile ego. It's a parasitic relationship. When we refer to a manipulative and controlling force, we are addressing a pervasive influence, a complete system of control. This isn't just about individual acts of manipulation. It's about a deep-seated desire to orchestrate every aspect of their environment and the people within it. They see others not as individuals with their own rights and feelings, but as extensions of themselves, tools to be used for their own gratification. This constant need for control means they are never truly free, always bound by the need to maintain their illusion of power. So for those of you who feel sadness or other negative emotions because of what the narcissist has inflicted upon you, I understand. I acknowledge that you feel wronged, as many of us have, but let us now address the core reality of the situation. I will be candid in this video, as I always am. Let's examine the harsh truth. How could you possibly fall in love with a narcissist, as some claim? First and foremost, one does not simply fall in love. Let's discuss this point immediately, even if it may displease some of you. It's a necessary conversation, as we must confront the reality of the situation. The language we use shapes our understanding, and falling implies a loss of control, a sudden descent. True love is quite the opposite. True connection is rooted in universal principles of compassion and understanding. These principles teach us how to love, emphasizing mutual respect, empathy, and genuine care for another's well-being. Therefore, 9 times out of 10, when we became involved with the narcissist, our inner alignment, as I've mentioned before, was not in harmony with our authentic selves and the universal principles of well-being. This misalignment is why we entered into a relationship with the narcissist. In essence, we connected with a complete force of negativity because they encountered us at a vulnerable moment. This vulnerability could have been a recent heartbreak, low self-esteem, or a lack of awareness about healthy relationships. They ensnared us when we weren't embracing self-love. Therefore, what you perceived as love for the narcissist, that you fell in love with them, I too shared that perception until I engaged in a profound heart-to-heart conversation with my own inner wisdom. What I had mistaken for love was in truth absolute idealization or obsession. That was its sole nature. It was a projection of our own unmet needs, our longing for connection, and perhaps even our desire to fix or save someone. The narcissist expertly mirrored back to us what we wanted to see, creating a powerful but ultimately hollow illusion. One day, I intend to dedicate a teaching specifically to the distinction between love and idealization, as it is a concept you truly need to understand. You cannot genuinely love another person if you do not first love yourself. True love stems from a place of wholeness, not from a desire to be completed by another. And regarding love, we do not fall in love. Rather, we grow in love. Love is something that continually expands, deepening over time and through shared experiences, mutual trust, and consistent effort. I prefer to use the term invest because we invest our time in things that are growing. We don't spend time on things that are stagnant or dead, for once time is spent, it's gone. Investment, on the other hand, implies vitality. It's alive. It's something you cultivate and nurture, an ongoing commitment and a conscious choice. I urge you all to keep this in mind. We invest time in those we love and care for, in our businesses, and in our various partnerships because these are aspects of our lives that we are cultivating and growing. We put in effort, we nurture, and we celebrate growth. This is the antithesis of a relationship with a narcissist, where your energy is constantly drained and growth is stifled. So I want to convey this message to you all. Do not be concerned with what the narcissist is saying or doing. You may find yourselves checking their social media, observing them, and concluding that they appear to be thriving. I assure you, they are not thriving. When one is under this kind of pervasive negativity, they are not living well. As I previously explained, this is largely why I outlined the difference between negative influence and deep-seated negative patterns. Deep-seated negative patterns signify a fundamental shift in a person's state. Unless that pattern is broken or transformed, the individual will remain stuck in that same destructive loop, trapped in a cycle of their own making. Deep-seated negativity cannot reside in a person who is full of light, brimming with opportunity, overflowing with optimism, or radiating positivity. That is simply not an environment where such negativity can thrive. Light repels darkness. Joy repels misery. The narcissist fundamentally exists in an opposite energetic space. I created this video because I genuinely want to help you understand the reality under which the narcissist exists. They are living under a heavy burden. A destructive force does not exist to bless you. Its sole purpose is to hinder and diminish. This is why everything they touch gets destroyed. During your relationship with them, you may have witnessed your own spirit change day by day as they dragged you down. Your light dimmed, your energy dwindled, and you felt a part of yourself fading away. This wasn't accidental, it was their deliberate aim. Often they would even test to see if their destructive efforts were working, asking questions like, "Am I bringing you down? You look sad today. Am I making you feel bad? Am I ruining your life?" They would literally ask these questions. Seriously, this isn't curiosity. It's a perverse satisfaction they derive from seeing the tangible impact of their negativity on you. It validates their twisted sense of power. So let's dispel the notion that checking their social media or observing their apparent success means they are achieving anything special, because they are not. You cannot achieve anything meaningful when you live within a mindset of darkness, when you are living a complete lie. I mean a lie embodied, a lie that walks on 2 feet. They live a life consumed by eating, sleeping, when they manage to sleep, which is rare, as these deeply troubled individuals often suffer from insomnia and breathing a complete fabrication. They are tormented, they are tortured souls, and tortured souls in turn torture other souls. This is what we must understand. Their supposed triumphs are hollow, their relationships are superficial, their internal world is a constant state of turmoil. Let's delve deeper into this cycle of torment. Imagine being trapped in a mental loop where your primary focus is to control, manipulate, and ultimately diminish others. This isn't a state of peace, it's a constant struggle. Psychologically, narcissists often suffer from profound insecurity and a fragile sense of self-worth. Their grandiose external facade is a desperate attempt to mask an inner void. They project their own self-hatred and fear onto those around them, constantly at war with themselves, and everyone else becomes collateral damage. Consider the concept of cognitive dissonance. A narcissist lives in a perpetual state of it. They believe they are superior, yet their actions contradict this belief, leading to an internal conflict that manifests as rage, envy, and a constant need for external validation. This internal turmoil prevents them from ever truly experiencing joy or contentment. They are constantly chasing an elusive sense of power and admiration, which, even when attained, never fills the emptiness within. It's like trying to fill a bottomless pit. No amount of external validation will ever be enough. Think of a well-known figure who consistently presents an image of perfection and success, yet behind the scenes, their personal relationships are in shambles, and they are plagued by addiction or mental health issues. While we can't diagnose specific individuals, this archetype illustrates how external appearances can be incredibly deceptive. The public sees the curated image, but the individual lives a life of internal chaos. This is often the reality for the narcissist. Their success is built on the backs of others, fleeting and ultimately unsatisfying. They might accumulate wealth or accolades, but true happiness, peace, and genuine connection remain out of reach. Furthermore, the constant state of anger, resentment, and manipulation takes a tremendous toll on their physical and mental health. Chronic stress, a hallmark of their existence, is linked to a myriad of health problems, from cardiovascular issues to weakened immune systems. They may appear outwardly healthy, but their internal landscape is often a battlefield leading to conditions like hypertension, anxiety disorders, and depression. Even if they deny or externalize these symptoms, they are living with a constant fight-or-flight response, which wears down the body over time. As an expert on human behavior once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." For the narcissist, their inability to self-reflect and take accountability traps them in a perpetual cycle of their own making. They are incapable of genuine introspection, blaming everyone else for their misfortunes, which further solidifies their isolated and miserable existence. They are prisoners of their own distorted perceptions and destructive patterns. There is no growth, no evolution, just a continuous loop of the same dysfunctional behaviors. Therefore, I want to deliver this message to you. You are not missing anything by being free of the narcissist. These individuals are living under a burden. This is their inherent state, and it is who they will remain. Their path is one of perpetual struggle and self-imposed misery. Be profoundly thankful that you were delivered from that abyss. You have been freed from that destructive influence that was dragging you down, causing you to suffer from various health problems. As the saying goes, go get out and stay out. Once you truly recognize what you were connected to, you must depart swiftly and never look back. You have successfully emerged, you are victorious, and you are the winner. You are no longer living under that heavy burden. You are no longer attached to a spirit of stagnation. When I tell you this, it is a profound reason to celebrate. Indeed, it is a reason to shout with joy. I truly felt that resonance within our community. This isn't just about escaping a bad situation. It's about reclaiming your life force, your authenticity, and your potential for true joy. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that no matter what you are currently experiencing, even if you feel as though you are taking it minute by minute, perhaps struggling as if with an addiction, for a situation with a narcissist can be likened to a heroin addiction, it is permissible to feel this way because despite the difficulty, you possess the inherent power and authority through your inner strength and universal guidance to achieve victory. You are already victorious, for you understand that the journey of self-discovery and resilience has paid the ultimate price for your freedom. You have endured, you have learned, and you are now stronger for it. Therefore, dwell on these truths. This is why wisdom traditions across cultures emphasize the importance of cultivating a mindset of victory. Why? Because a victorious mindset operates with conviction, believing that greater is the strength within me than any challenge in the world. It's about focusing on your own agency, your capacity to choose growth over stagnation, peace over turmoil. A victorious mindset approaches life with optimism, faith, love, and peace. And that mindset is now yours. Yes, that is you. I am here to affirm this to you today. Oh yes, that is truly who you are. So even on your most challenging day, you are fundamentally unlike that pathetic figure. We mistakenly attempted to place a crown on a clown. They are like a duck, dear ones, attempting to resemble a rhinoceros with bowed legs. Consider that image, an awkward, unnatural attempt to be something they are not. They are trying to fit into a role that doesn't belong to them, constantly pretending, constantly performing. They are akin to a hound dog, adorned with pink lipstick and a bonnet. No, we no longer need to live our lives in such a manner. We are better, we are greater, and most importantly, we are victorious. Yes, we are indeed victorious. Your authenticity, your capacity for genuine connection, and your journey of self-love are your true crowns. As we conclude, let's briefly touch on what it means to build a future based on authenticity and genuine connection, especially after experiencing the destructive nature of a narcissistic relationship. This is where your victory truly unfolds. Firstly, healing is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days, and that's perfectly normal. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Seek support from trusted friends, family, or professionals who understand the complexities of narcissistic abuse. Therapy, particularly trauma-informed therapy, can provide invaluable tools for processing the past and building resilience for the future. Remember, healing isn't about forgetting. It's about transforming the pain into wisdom and strength. Secondly, reestablish your boundaries. Narcissists thrive on boundary violations because they see others as extensions of themselves. Learning to say no assertively and consistently upholding your personal limits is crucial for your well-being. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've been conditioned to prioritize others' needs over your own, but it's an essential step in reclaiming your power and defining your personal space. Your boundaries are not walls to keep others out, but fences to keep your peace in. Thirdly, cultivate self-compassion. Forgive yourself for anything you might perceive as a mistake in the past. Understand that you were dealing with a master manipulator, and your reactions were often a direct result of their tactics. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. Practice self-care rigorously, whether it's through mindfulness, spending time in nature, or engaging in creative outlets. Nurturing your inner self is vital for recovery and growth. Fourthly, rebuild your support system with intention. After narcissistic abuse, your social circle may have been intentionally isolated by the narcissist. Now is the time to reconnect with healthy relationships and build new ones based on mutual respect, empathy, and genuine care. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, celebrate your successes, and offer true support, not just validation. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, focus on what brings you joy and purpose. Reconnect with hobbies, passions, and relationships that genuinely uplift you. Invest your time and energy into activities that foster growth, creativity, and authentic connection. This is how you truly thrive, not by seeking external validation or dwelling on the actions of those who wish to diminish you. Your victory lies in living a life that is truly authentically yours. It's about finding your own rhythm, celebrating your unique journey, and radiating the light the narcissist tried so hard to extinguish. This is your ultimate triumph. I love you all. I want to convey how much I cherish our connection. Please remain encouraged. Know that I love you and understand that you are victorious. You are winners. Until our next video, make sure you hit that like button, and please share this video with anyone you believe could benefit from this message. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences, as your insights truly enrich our community. I will see you all in the next video.